Welcome back to Good Day State Line. We are testing our memory this morning with Joe from the Alzheimer's Association. Good morning. Thanks for coming back.
Good morning.
It's so nice to see you again. Before we, well, I don't know, you lead the way. When do I need to start this memory test? Should we
Okay, we're actually going to do a mini experiment on TV today. So I also encourage your people who are watching today. So I want you to remember these words.
Okay.
Door, cat, celery, blue, apple, paper.
Does it matter what order they're in?
It doesn't matter what order necessarily. I want you to remember those. And we're going to go ahead and do some facts and kind of go from there. So I'll pass it back to you now to see.
Apple, door, paper, celery, blue, cat. We'll start with that, just saying it out loud once. Okay, so you want me to tell you about this stuff? Okay, let's do some Alzheimer's stats. I'm going to repeat them to confuse me, right? That's
correct.
The idea? Okay, so the number of people aged 65 plus with Alzheimer's is 230,000 people. Is that the fact?
Well, so those between the ages of 40 and 65, actually there's over 200,000 Americans living with Alzheimer's now. Now, after the age of 65 altogether, there's over 3 million living with the disease. So it is a quite staggering disease that most people, they just don't think about. They just assume it's a memory loss issue, and it's not, which is why we're doing this experiment today, because we want to show the frustration and see what you remember in just this short amount of time, because those living with the disease, they don't have this opportunity to have just a short time. This is a disease that they're going to be living with. Well,
and that's another important reason why you're here today and why the association exists in general, is because someone you know is going to be affected at some point, and so if you can kind of prepare yourself, whether it's you or someone else, ahead of time, like that's what you guys are doing.
Well, and that's the thing, is there's somebody out there. I mean, think about it. Everybody knows at least 6 people, right? So the odds of you knowing somebody having some type of dementia or Alzheimer's is relatively on the higher side. So you're going to know somebody's, but the thing is, you may not realize what they have because some people don't talk about it. And we want to talk about it. We want people to be aware, which is why this test today, it's going to be interesting to see what you remember.
All right, so now we're talking about the number of deaths from Alzheimer's in 2019, right? I think we have that one. 3,954, that's huge.
Yeah, so during the pandemic, there was a 16% increase in deaths amongst during the pandemic with those living with Alzheimer's disease. So it is something for sure that you've probably seen our commercials right now for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, where flowers are fighters. We are fighters because we want to find an end to this disease, because it's not stopping, we're not stopping, and we know those in the community aren't stopping. So we want to make sure people are aware that this is not a memory loss, just memory loss. This is a disease that will eventually end in death, and we want people to know that we need to find a way to stop it.
Absolutely. So we also know there are about 6 million Americans currently living with Alzheimer's.
Correct.
Right? And the cost of caring is estimated to total $355 billion this year. That is huge.
Yes, and it's only going to continue to increase until we find an end to this disease.
Absolutely. And that, you pointed out the numbers during the pandemic. One of the many unfortunate things that occurred was, individuals suffering from non-pandemic related diseases really didn't know what to do right at the beginning. I think hopefully now, even though we're still in the middle of the pandemic, there's ways, and everyone has kind of said, okay, we can do this, we can do this. So that's awesome. And I know that you are doing that you have certain events, right?
Exactly. We have certain events. We still have our programs going on for those that want to learn about the disease, those that are living with the disease. How do you communicate with somebody? We even have a healthy living class that really teaches things we can do now as kind of a potential way of prevention. Now, again, it's not foolproof at all, 100%, but based on our healthy living class we teach, there are some things you can do that could show the potential of reducing risks.
I feel like these 6 healthy habits might be some of those things, right?
Exactly.
All right, fruits and vegetables, limiting processed meats and grains, exercising, not smoking, drinking in moderation, 6 to 9 hours of sleep. That's an awesome list to kind of we should all be living our lives kind of following that list, don't you think?
No, exactly. And I encourage, those out there today to, look up our healthy living classes, because they go into full detail. They're about 30, 40 minutes, but they go into full detail of the 4 areas that the study really does show of ways you can. And these are the top 6. So it's not easy, trust me. I'm working on losing my weight because I'm 2.5 times more likely to get Alzheimer's or dementia by the time I'm in my 60s. So I'm working on it. I've been working on it now for over a year, down over 40 pounds. But it's something we all can do by taking these healthy habits.
And you mentioned me earlier, the healthy living classes include line dancing.
Yes, so that is something that the Rockford office offers because I've been line dancing since I was 7. Cool. So I actually add that at the end of our classes. Very cool. And we have a lot coming up this month. There's actually over 20 over the next 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Happening in person, safely, of course, wearing masks and social distancing. But I encourage those out there to come on out and enjoy a healthy living class and learn some line dancing.
Very cool. Where can we get details on when those classes are?
Yeah, you can get that by going to alz.org and being able to look up the classes.
That's a great website.
Yeah.
alz.org. All right, you ready for me to see if I remember? Apple, celery, paper, blue. There was another one. A cat?
Cat is one, and then there's still one more.
What is it?
It's actually door.
Door. And that one was boring. I wasn't going to
remember that one.
But yes.
It's the frustration trying to remember. Yeah. And see, in my case, I waited. And that's what we want to ask is those living with the disease, do you want us to give you the answer? Or do you want to try to come up with it yourself? So these are things that are happening on a daily basis with those living with the disease. And I can imagine
the frustration builds and the want for the answer or not the answer, changes from day to day as well.
Exactly.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you so much for letting us learn a little with you, and then maybe we can come take a class with you too. Very cool. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I do encourage everyone, if you can come out to the walk, it's coming up in 2 weeks on September 18th.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe. Coming up next on Good Day State Line, Jonathan James joining me here in the studio, and then we're naming our next fan of the week. But first, it's birthday time. We are sending a huge happy birthday to Alyssa. Her birthday is today. Also, happy birthday to Loretta. Her birthday is on Tuesday, September 7th, and on Saturday, happy birthday to Samantha. Send us your friends and family birthday shout-outs anytime. Just send an email to gooddaystateline@WTVO.com. We'll be right back.
The preceding segment was sponsored by Alzheimer's Association.